In the name of Almighty Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. As Muhammad, peace be upon him, narrated, if anyone travels on a road in search of knowledge, Almighty Allah will cause him to travel on one of the roads of paradise. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Tariq Masood. Thank you very much for watching my videos and your exceptional support to make this channel a grand success. We are a partner and family. Please subscribe and share our channel if you haven't done so far. We as a team can work together to convert challenges into opportunities and opportunity into success stories. These success stories can be monetized into value addition. Thank you very much for your precious time. Okay, today I'm going to discuss my lecture number 5 on challenge for organization model. Before my lecture, I used to read a Quranic verse. Qala Rabbi Shrahli Sadri wa Yassarli Amri Wahalal Uqdatam Mellisani Yafkahu Qawli Allahumma Rabbi Zidni Ilma. Okay, on my next slide, I will give you my highlights, what we discussed so far, and then I will run a complete trail on my lecture number 5. Okay, challenge for organization. Uncertain word lecture number 5. Okay, before lecture number 5, I will give you what we have discussed so far. In my lecture number 1, we have discussed what is the change, cost of uncontrolled change, how it becomes intolerable. Lecture number 2, we have discussed trying to control the events, importance of knowledge and knowledge sharing. Lecture number 3, we have discussed strategic analysis of organization, leading change and transition period. Lecture number 4, we have discussed globalizations, post-industrializations, distressing collective and organizations. Okay, today we are going to discuss let's set the scene. On my next lecture, we will discuss confidence crisis, middle age or Mad Max, American model, many words for a single disease, Germany escaping the crisis in different ways, Asia, the frailty of the dragons. On my next slide, I am going to give you a key takeaway points of lecture number 5. Okay. First, we will discuss let's set the scene. So, then we will discuss confront historical process, history of the presence, internal mutation within the each society. Okay, let's set the scene. Principal facts standouts. Okay, first, post-industrial society, literature and statistics. The times are not for hope, falling back and disappear. One principal fact stands out. The emergence of post-industrial society is a painful, and this pain can be observed and everywhere, both in literature and in the statistics. Few examples. Edgar Morin warns that the times are not of hope, but of falling back and disappear, and that from now on we must confront on historical process which destroys everything. In my last slide, we have discussed a principal facts stand out. Now we are going to discuss economic horrors, what it demonstrates. Okay, so it linked with emotion desperations, emergence, fronting and difficult. What Wavin Foster's mentioned in economic horror, it demonstrates with emotions and desperations just how difficult and frightening this emergence really is, how it can arouse in certain countries feelings of fear or aversion. Robert Castle mentioned the metamorphosis of social question speaks of disaffiliation in regard to his history of presence. That is how Robert Castle demonstrated. In my next slide, we will discuss what American side speaks up about the economic horrors or principal standout. Okay, American side of Atlantic. What I demonstrate here: express doubt and reservation, then link with audible, ambient optimism, and Jeremy Rifkin's put forth several truths which are worth repeating here. Okay, what is mentioned on the American side of Atlantic, even if those who express doubt or reservation are barely audible above the ambient optimism. Jeremy Rifkin puts forth several truths which are worth repeating here. He says the number send shivers down the spine at the end of the 1980s. On out of 4 a young black man was either in prison or on probation. In Washington, D.C., 42% of black between the age of 18 and 25 are either in prison or wanted by the police. Okay, on my next slide, we will further discuss what Rifkin is mentioned further on for the reason for societal problems. Okay, shaking the world, the reasons for society. Okay, as mentioned here, so no doubt, good reasons to claim that exclusive nationalist and religious fundamentalist. Then internal mutations within each society. Then it demonstrates the globalization. What it basically demonstrates. Rifkin is by no means the only one to see in these backgrounds trends now shaking the world the reasons for society's problem. Seminier has no doubt good reasons to claim that the emergence of exclusive nationalist and religious fundamentalist movement is not simply the outcome of internal mutations within each society. It is also the result spread through the media of a much deeper set of change, that of globalizations. Okay, on my next slide, we will discuss what opposition will do as far as the globalization is concerned. Okay, now we will discuss oppositions, how it demonstrates here opposition. Then there is difficulties, disgraceful results, social protections, and it will then demonstrate how Robert Rich points out that in the private sector in the United States, a union membership has fallen to level below those of 1913, estimated 13%. What it basically demonstrates here, whenever there is opposition or attempts to resist those changes, the difficult and sometimes disgraceful result is only the preservation of a few pieces of a social protection. Although it is likely that these only briefly hold at bay the day of reckoning, they symbolize this state of affairs. Robert Rocket points out that in the private sector in the United States, our union membership has fallen to levels below those of 1930, estimated at 13%. These reality which we have only touched on here are not temporary. These appear to be here for the long haul, at least as far as a modern sociology can see. Among the possible development outlines by Robert Castle, on my next slide we will further discuss. Okay, Robert Castle mentioned in his book A Future Crisis, the first is that starting in the 1970s, salaries will continue to depreciate. The turns which seems to be taking hold are very serious indeed. An original way to better understand them might be to look at some words which figure in the title of keywords from this period: metamorphosis and death, crisis, etc. Each one expresses the sentiments of both strong and diffuse that a world it is disappearing before our eyes at speed which we cannot fully grasp because we are so involved in the process ourselves. Thank you very much for your precious time, and my next slide we will discuss confidence crisis. Okay, so thank you very much. Now we will discuss on a conclusion page. On my next slide, we are going to discuss what is the conclusion. Okay, today we have discussed 4 topics. First, let's set the scene, then confront a historical process, history of present, and internal mutation within each society. Thank you very much for your precious time. Next topic, challenge for organization, inshallah, will be the confidence crisis. Here are a few references related to my lecture here. First, Peter Drucker's Management Challenge for the 21st Century here. And the second, the Academy of Management Executive, The Next Frontier by Edward Sachs. And second here, the Citigroup, The Academy of Management Executive, again presented by John Reed. Then number 4 here is the Graham Allison's Essence of Decisions. Number 5 here, the Michael Kreuzer, The Bureaucratic Phenomena. Number 6 here, Michael Kreuzer and Fred Berg's Actor and System. Thank you very much for your precious time. Thank you very much for your precious time. Together, everyone achieve more. Please don't hesitate. Send me your feedback and comments. t.masood.dr@bath.edu. Please stay at home, safe, inspired, and blessed. Thank you very much again for your precious time.